Page 23, time for bed. On page 22, they're introducing you to a thing we do in piano where things overlap just a little bit, but it's a little misleading by the way they're doing it here, so let's just keep it straight. In a grand staff, the notes, the names of the notes, you've learned them so far, most all of them in both staffs. But they can go above and below. They can go further than that. And so if it's in the middle between the grand staff where middle C is, the bass clef can go higher than that. It can go on up into where treble clef normally is. And the same thing with treble clef. It can go lower than middle C. It can keep going. So it gets a little confusing because there's an overlap. It doesn't mean one hand or the other is playing. It has nothing to do with which hand is playing the note. It's just which staff is the note in. And here they're introducing you to the note D for bass clef. And it is the D right above middle C. In middle C, this is this D. We already know in the treble clef, this D is underneath the bottom line in treble clef. They show it at the bottom. The same note, well, the D is right above middle C. Middle C is on that little line. It's called a ledger line. The line goes through middle C, and the D is right above it. Those two notes they show you at the bottom of page 22 is the same key on the piano. The difference is which clef the note is shown in. Is it bass clef or is it treble clef? The hand that plays it, well, it could be either hand, but for what we're doing right now, the left hand is playing the bass clef stuff and the right hand is playing the treble clef stuff, so the left hand would play that note. That's fine, because any hand can play any note, anywhere. There's no rule about what does what to what. It's a total free-for-all, anything goes. So let's look at this bed thing and see what we're doing here. It's about 4 lines long, treble and bass clef. 1 sharp in the key signature. We're in the key of G major. It means all the Fs anywhere in the piece are automatically going to be played as F sharps instead. I look the piece over, I don't see any Fs anywhere, so it doesn't seem to matter any, but the sharp still has to be in the key signature. Whether you use the F or not is not important. In G major, you got to have a sharp in the key signature. And it's a 4/4 time signature. Okay, we do all that. We got quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. The hands are playing at the same time sometimes, so I'm going to take it one hand at a time first and make sure I got all that worked out. The right hand, when it comes in, they don't tell you where to put your hand or nothing. So you have a choice. On those last 2 measures of the first line, you need to cover all those notes in one hand position. Well, I could do it here. I could do it here. I could do it here. So I got a choice of 3 different hand positions. Which do I want? And because it's got rest before and after, it doesn't seem to matter much. Now, if I look at the second line, I got the same notes, different rhythm. Same notes. Well, it'd be the same hand position then, probably. But when I look at the third line, now I got to go from a G at the end of the second line to a D at the beginning of the third line. I need to be aware of that. So I'm not going to use this hand position for the first 2 lines because I don't want to end on a thumb, because I got to use a thumb here. I don't want to use the same finger if I can help it. So this position is out. I could use this position and I end up on second finger at the end of the second line, and I can reach down for the thumb. It's kind of far, but you can make it. However, it's easier if I go ahead and use this position and I end up on third finger. This way, all I got to do is come down 1 key to get the D in the third line here. So I'm going to recommend that we use this hand position. That would be 5th finger on the B. See, when they don't give you finger numbers, you got to figure it out yourself. And there's some logic and thinking about it, and that's what I'm trying to get across here. So I'm going to be in this position to start. Don't forget the F sharp here. And it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And the next line, same notes, different rhythm. And then on the third line, I just reach down and claps. And reach up. It's a D up here, remember, and stay here. Don't collapse here because the next note is a D again. Now collapse. And then reach up just a little bit and stay in this position for the last line. So we change the hand position just a little bit. Just in the third line down, a little tricky. Eventually you want to get to where you can do that without looking at the keyboard, where you can kind of feel these distances when you have to move around a little bit. Eventually. Right hand, well they're telling you fifth finger here. So it's, you get your D. See right there, this is the D where normally right hand would play it well. That's about all the left hand's doing. Let's put the hands together. And the third measure, when they play together, you're in this position, and it's here. These are together, these are together, and then hold the right hand down, it's a whole note. And then the left hand does its thing, and then together. Same notes. Now, third line, you're going to reach down here. Left hand stays right where it's at. So both hands you're sharing D. Here, here. Get the idea? Sometimes I go a little fast. I don't know if you're getting it or not, but I do know you can watch this part more than once to go over and over and over until you do get it. Now once you get the hands together, then go back through and get rid of any hesitations anywhere. A steady beat all the way through. Now we can think about the articulation. They don't give you any articulation. Okay, we'll skip articulation. In other words, I'm going to connect everything. When they don't give me anything, I'm just going to connect everything. And I'll explain more about that as we go further through. The dynamics is next. Mezzo forte, MF. Moderately loud, whatever you think moderately loud is. This is going to be both hands here. Both hands moderate. Next line, moderately soft, mezzo piano. You come down a little bit, sort of soft. Both hands. So forth. And then in the third line, F is forte for loud. This is going to be the right hand. Now the melody's in the right hand. This is the melody. Those whole notes are just harmony. So the left hand you can play in the background a little softer. And loud for the right hand. So you're heavy in the right hand and light in the left. And third measure over then is PP for pianissimo. Very soft. The left hand has to be super soft. How light can you be in the left hand? And then for the last line, mezzo forte, moderately loud like you were at the beginning. And now, soft in both hands. Plus you get an RIT there, ritardando. Slow down a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now as far as the interpretation goes, again we start with the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second line, third measure. 1, 2, 3. Feel these all the way through. I exaggerate it so you can hear it better. You don't want to exaggerate them. You just want to feel them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can add in the phrasing if we can figure out what the phrases are. I have to play it kind of quickly so I can hear it. It just helps me hear it better. So if I go. My mind, it's like every two measures is a phrase. It's a musical thought or a musical sentence. So I'm going to lift up, like taking a breath. And here it's like a statement reply again. Statement, reply. Statement. And then the third line, same thing. Statement, reply. Reply. Statements. I'm going to do it that way. Every 2 measures, I'm going to lift off like taking a breath. Remember, let the wrist claps on these 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay relaxed. Please don't copy me. You get into the music and feel the music and play it as you feel it. I like to play it with you very slowly to check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any of the louds and softs. Those are the dynamics. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play the notes, but I am going to lift up for the phrasing. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's just play it together. This is just a check to make sure you have the right notes at the right times. And this is after you've learned it. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.